Welcome to Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires Racing. I'm your host of Road to Indy TV, Tony Laporta, and it is time for the first Mazda Road to Indy race of the day here in Indianapolis. It is the Royal Purple Synthetic Oil USF 2000 Grand Prix, supporting the Indiana chapter of the Lupus Foundation of America. Just to catch you up, yesterday, Alex Barron, who scored the second win of the season back at St. Pete, had a great battle with Cape Motorsports driver Kyle Kirkwood, who started on the pole but finished second. Alex Barron trying to get his second win of the weekend, third of the season for RJB Swan Motorsports. It's going to be a great race here in the USF 2000 Round 4. We're going to go to Rob Howden now to introduce you to the starting grid for race number 2 here at Indianapolis.
"26 drivers are set to go racing here to kick off some wheel-to-wheel action this year's IndyCar Grand Prix. Let's have a look at the drivers here in USF 2000. 26 in total set to go. Row number 13. We'll see Sabre Cook out of Grand Junction, Colorado, in the number 31 for Team Bennick. She'll start 26 alongside Oscar De La Zuriaga. De La Zuriaga, the number 38, running for Newman Walks Racing. Moving now up to row number 12. On the outside for BN Racing, it's Russell McDonough in the number 29. And on the inside, last year's $200,000 Mazda Scholarship Shootout winner from Ireland, Keith Donegan for Arms Up Motorsports, starting in 23rd. Row number 11 on the outside, it's Manuel Cabrera for Exclusive Autosports, driving the red and black number 90. And on the inside from New York, Michael D. Orlando in the Team Bennick number 51. Moving now to row number 10, David Osborne in the 37, starting alongside Max Peichel. On row number 9, Bruno Tomaselli and Kyle Dupel. Row 8, Mateus Soler-Obel and Igor Fraga. Row number 7, Julian Vanderwatt and Colin Kaminsky. On row 6, it's Kalen Frederick and Corey Enders. Row 5, James Rowe and Darren Keene. On row number 4, we'll see Jose Sierra in the number 12 on the outside, Zach Holden on the inside in the number 10. Row number 3, Calvin Ming and Rasmuth Lint, both Pabst Racing drivers in the black cars. Ming in the 21, Rasmuth Lint in the 23. Row 2, Jamie Caroline out of England for BN Racing in the 28. And yesterday's winner, Alex Barron for Swan RJB Motorsports, the Frenchman, in the number 19. Two drivers on the front row will put Lucas Cole for Pabst Racing in the number 22, the Brazilian starting in second. But the pole sitter today out of Jupiter, Florida, Kyle Kirkwood, your point leader in the number 8 on the pole position. Our field is set and ready to go. We have 26 Mazda power plants to fire up. And ladies and gentlemen, we are getting set to go. Joining with me here down on pit lane, one of our guests from Cooper Tires, it will be Ken Bush. He is going to give us the call to fire these engines.
On behalf of everyone at Cooper's Tires, drivers, start your Mazda engines.
And with that, the engines come to life down here on pit lane. We have a great race set to go, 20 laps or 40 minutes. The first rung of the Mazda Road to Indy set to go for race number 2.
Thank you, Rob. Waiting to see the cars release from the grid. And we'll get the racing officially underway today for the IndyCar Grand Prix. The first of 4 races on the day. These are drivers as young as 15 years old, but already competing at a professional level. They may be 15, but this is big-time racing. A big field, 26 cars pulling away. Headed out on the 2.439 mile 14 turn road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One of the cars is struggling to get away. That's Igor Fraga with some difficulty getting away, the number 91 car. And now Fraga is away, so 26 cars out on their formation, parade, warm-up lap, all in one. They're already with the lead group headed down the backstretch, Holman Boulevard towards turn number 7. Led by Kyle Kirkwood and Lucas Cole. Yesterday they safely made it through turn number 1. What will we see in race number 2? Alex Barron was the winner of yesterday's event, with Kirkwood finishing second. Jose Sierra also on the podium. Round 6 of the USF 2000 season. Make that round 4 is nearly ready to go. Round 6 for Pro Mazda. And they come through 11 and 12, and they will go green this time by. The 91 of Fraga, by the way, had some difficulty getting away, and he'll have to start in the back. Rob, they're lined up and about ready to go racing.
Great to see these young drivers. The very first rung of the Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. Their second race here at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the 2.43 mile road course. Here they come. They'll work their way onto the front straightaway. Again, Kyle Kirkwood alongside Lucas Cole. No, yellow flag being thrown here at start finish. No start. We do have ourselves an honorary flagman from Cooper Tires who will throw the green once we do go back to racing. Jeff Brinkman up there. Awesome place to watch the start of a race. Jeff Brinkman, our guest of Cooper Tires. Been told debris in turn number 14, the reason for the no start. Kyle Kirkwood, the young driver out of Jupiter, Florida for Cape Motorsports, trying to follow in the footsteps of his teammate Oliver Askew at Cape Motorsports. Of course, Oliver sweeping the weekend last year. Trying to get another win here just like Oliver did. Alex Barron, though, able to get things started here for the weekend. A strong win for him. Swan RJB Motorsports, Kevin, a team that came together in the offseason. Swan Racing and RJB Motorsports coming together to kind of bring together their core competencies from both teams, both operations. There was some sponsorship coming from RJB with their sponsor Metalloid, and really they have come out of the box very strongly. Merle Swan knows his way around a race car, and to get Alex Barron, that solid young French driver, back here in the Mazda Road to Indy, I think it's really raised the game of USF 2000. So the clock has started for the time. As I had said before, it was a 20-minute, or rather a 20-lap race or 40 minutes. So the clock has started, even with the yellow. Drivers will form back up, coming through turn number 11 and 12. Full double file restart. Again, Kirkwood on the inside, Lucas Cole on the outside. Cole looking for his first USF 2000 win. Kirkwood aiming to stretch out his point lead, but of course Alex Barron wants to do the double here at IMS. The yellow was for debris, everything cleared off. We're ready to go racing. They'll come out at turn number 14, back onto the long straightaway here at IMS. It'll go into the hands of Kirkwood before he punches off. We're underway, green flag flying, and Kirkwood gets a good start. Lucas Cole slots in behind. We are 4 wide mid-pack down into turn number 1. Will they get through cleanly? Coming down into that braking zone. First drivers through. Couple cleanly thus far. Again, the initial run of the Mazda Road to Indy, these young drivers having to learn what it's like to go into a corner like that. So wide on the entry, so narrow as they all funnel back through. Things look good so far, Kevin, going through 3 and 4.
But Kirkwood is being challenged.
That's actually Alex Barron. Barron has got himself into second already. Almost interlocked wheels coming up Holman Boulevard into that braking zone. And look at Alex Barron trying the outside.
That's impressive. They all made it through not only turn 1, but turn 7 there. Contesting positions. By the way, also, Jose Sierra at the start rolled down pit lane, and he finished on the podium yesterday. And he sits in the pitch right now in the number 12 car.
Shame for Jose Sierra, also up there in the points. Third in points, I believe. Jose Sierra for D-Force Racing. Disappointment for him. Igor Fraga had started the tail of the field after an issue getting going, and trouble as well for the 51. That's Michael D'Orlando. He actually flipped yesterday coming through the turn 7-8 section, got off track in turn 7, it bit and flipped over right on the roll hoop all the way back on 4 wheels. You can see them frantically going to work on the car of Jose Sierra. Like they're trying to get the rear cowl off. Kirkwood leading the opening lap. A little wide going through the turn in there, the apex and the exit for Alex Barron. He allows Jamie Caroline to close right back in. Jamie Caroline in the number 28 machine. Reigning British F4 champion. Dominant season last year. Comes over to the U.S. to run with BN Racing here in USF 2000. Alex Barron under fire. Here comes Jamie Caroline to the inside. Oh, contact there. I could see that one happening. Jamie Caroline wasn't giving it up, and Alex Barron came across the bow from right to left, Kevin. You see that a lot in turn number 7.
And that's yesterday's winner, off in the grass. How much damage, if any, is there? He will get it going. Regardless, he's lost all that track position, and now at the back, after running second, that's the young Frenchman, Alex Barron. And that gives Kyle Kirkwood a great deal of breathing room out front.
Yeah, the racing him back. Obviously, Caroline not able to get a good run out of turn 7 with that contact. So indeed, that is going to be a nice gap here. 1.7 seconds for Kyle Kirkwood last time by.
Here's a replay of the video board.
I think Alex Barron's got to give that one up. It looks to me like he came across the bow, and Caroline was pretty deeply into the corner, and he actually slowed enough and got it turned. I think Barron needed to give him a little more room there coming through the apex. Kevin, would you agree with that?
I think so. I think I would like to see it one more time. I know we may not have the ability to do that, but how late was the dive would be something to take into consideration. But just from that glance, he was almost side by side. So you're trying to fit 2 through there. Easy for us to say sitting here in our comfy chairs, though.
Most definitely. Alex Barron, 23 years of age, as I had said about 4 years ago, made his debut in the USF 2000 program with Afterburner Autosport, won a couple of races, advanced quickly to run with, actually in 2014, to run with Bilardi Auto Racing alongside Gabi Chavez, and actually got a couple of race wins. Ended up with some issues with his tourist visa. He's got those all handled and is back on track here. Kirkwood would be happy to get himself back onto the podium for the second time this year. Won at St. Petersburg. He now leads by 1.7 seconds, but Jamie Caroline was coming on strong early. Lucas Cole goes into the 3rd spot. Rasmus Lint in 4th. Big jump back then. The driver now up into 5th. What a good run here for Zach Holden from Greenfield, Indiana. A local Indiana kart racer, one of the top kart racers in the country, has since moved to F1600, that championship series last year. This year trying to put together a full season of USF 2000 racing, up to P5, and only how many miles from Newcastle Motorsports Park, where he grew up as a young kart racer.
Yep, I've seen Zach out at that track many, many times, and he's had a lot of success there and still does some karting and going at it full-time in USF 2000, and this would be his best result if he can make it stick. How cool is that? Having success at your hometown track, especially when it happens to be Indianapolis.
I'd say it may be tough to catch up to these guys up front, but Kirkwood's pulled out to 2.4 seconds. Jamie Caroline in the 28, Rasmus Lint in the 23, and Lucas Cole in the 22 are hard at it right now. They were too wide going into turn number 7. So with them racing as aggressively as they are, this could give Holden a chance to come up to potentially battle for a podium.
Has Caroline's car been compromised at all with the contacts?
Great point.
In turn 7 earlier on with Barron? We don't know that.
It's like one driver potentially spinning, almost spinning, coming out of turn number 13. That was very interesting because Caroline went super low coming out of turn number 11 to almost block at turn number 12. He's on the defensive now. But some contact at 13's giving him a little bit of breathing room.
And the lead for Kirkwood, that time by with 5 complete, is over 5 seconds on Caroline. Cole 9/10 behind him. Zach Holden is up to 4th right now.
Calvin Ming, the driver involved in the incident, Kevin, over in turn number 13. He brings the car down pit lane with a front wing damage. And interestingly, getting some information from race control that they have warned Kyle Kirkwood for blocking and swerving on the front straightaway. So they do not like him and the move that he's doing in terms of trying to block early in the race, I would assume, not now. With a 5.1 second lead, no need to block for Kyle Kirkwood. He'll just put the good laps down here. But the fight behind Kevin, Caroline, Cole, Holden now to 4th, Kaylin Frederick 5th. Rasmuth Lint in that contact fell all the way down into 8th spot in front of Darren Keene and James Rowe Jr. Alex Barron, after that off in turn number 7 when he had contact with Jamie Caroline, is now back up to 21st. He's going to try to close up on Sabre Cook and then David Osborne. Good shot there of the lead for Kyle Kirkwood as he has a massive advantage now over Jamie Caroline. Kirkwood in the number 8 for Cape Motorsports. Caroline in the 28 for BN Racing.
Alex Barron trying to work his way back up into contention, just turned the fastest lap, 1:25.9. That's 3/10 faster than the leader, Kyle Kirkwood. What is Barron thinking right now with that kind of car, but running in the 19th, make that 20th position?
You know, it's just got to be that thought of recovery and praying for a yellow. If he gets a yellow flag, it allows him to close back up and get a good jump. I think that would be the best thing for him. Potential contact there. That's Mateus Solar Obel side by side with Kaylin Frederick in turn 7.
That's for 5th position, I think.
Mateus Solar Obel, only, I want to say 16 years of age tomorrow. He's not even 16 yet. 15 years of age, young driver, ran F4 last year. Out of Bogota, Colombia, now living in Atlanta, Georgia. It is a single car effort, family team as well, Kevin. To be able to run P5 against this kind of competition, what a run for Mateus Solar Obel today. Solo racing, 8th grader, running P5 in USF 2000 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Wow. Kirkwood, Caroline, Cole, Holden, and Solar Obel, the top 5, 7 laps complete in USF 2000 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Mateus Solar Obel, the number 5, has put himself on the gearbox of Zach Holden. Last time by, Holden about 3/10 of a second quicker, but Holden not quite fast enough to close up on Lucas Cole in 3rd. A full second gap between 3rd and 4th. Julian Vanderwaat having a pretty good run there as well in the number 7, the reigning South African F1600 champion. He runs now in 7th. Rasmuth Lint gets himself back up to 8th. James Rowe Jr. in 9th. Darren Keene falling to the 10th spot. Alex Barron back to 18th now. Full second quicker than Bruno Tomaselli and about a second back. So a yellow would be huge for Barron, but anything inside the top 15, top 12, I think would be a success based on the issue that we saw on track.
Barron still has cars within range that he can tick off. They're not spread out too much, but a yellow would bunch everything up a little bit more. It's really the field needing a yellow to have any chance at Kyle Kirkwood, who's now more than 6 seconds up on Jamie Caroline. That best battle right now is for second. Caroline and Cole are going at it.
Kudos to the Pabst Racing crew, able to get Calvin Ming's new wing back on and get him back out on the lead lap. Well behind, of course, in fact, close to getting caught up by Kyle Kirkwood, but a yellow would keep him on the lead lap as well. Being told the number 91, Igor Fraga, being warned of blocking Max Peichel. Fraga has Max Peichel, Alex Barron, and Bruno Tomaselli right in front of him. Hasn't been the best weekend for him, for Igor Fraga, after a second place run at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg.
Cole took a little look at Caroline there in turn number 7 as they continue to battle for second position. 6+ seconds behind Kyle Kirkwood. Kirkwood is through 13. The rest of the field, second, third, fourth, just exiting turn number 12 right now, and Kirkwood is gapping it even more. He's back on the main straightaway and just through oval turn number 1. Here comes Caroline pulling the train.
Yeah, Jamie Caroline, the slowest of that lead group. He's going to get a push here from Lucas Cole. Cole making a run. They're going to go too wide coming down into turn number 1. Lucas Cole says it's time to go to work.
And that's Cole in the black car on the outside, trying to go the long way around.
I think the number 10 of Zach Holden got through for third. Indeed, he has. I think Cole went to the outside. Holden stuck to the inside, and Kevin, pretty solid run for Zach Holden to the inside. He gets right up onto the, at one point, on the gearbox, Jamie Caroline. Zach Holden now to P3.
That's Holden in the blue and white car. So second and third going the wide way around. Back for fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, jockeying for position side by side for fourth right now through turn number 7.
That's Lucas Cole and Kalen Frederick. Frederick in the 24, the white wing endlets on the black car. He has been pushing hard because what a difference 4 or 5 corners make for Lucas Cole. He was making a move on Jamie Caroline, ends up losing a spot, then goes on the defense down Humboldt Boulevard to turn number 7.
And Zach Holden has caught up to Caroline, and he's trying to go around, and they make some contact.
Zach Holden made a great run coming around the outside at turn number 13, but Kenny Holden coming back on here.
Look at this down the front stretch.
Holden fell back about 5 or 6 spots, Kevin. That contact, he was on the outside of 13. Caroline washed out into him, and I believe that Holden had to go 4 wheels on the grass coming out of 13.
Oh, 3 wide coming through 1 there. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh position, all bunched up like that. And is that Holden there on the runoff? Oh, what a shame. He was in position for a podium position, and then more trouble.
That is Kalen Frederick. Kalen Frederick in contact coming through turn number 4, Kevin. He is off the racetrack in the beach, and Alex Barron just got a gift. We are going to go full course yellow, I would expect, with a driver just off the racetrack in the gravel trap of turn number 4.
And no one damaged any more than Kyle Kirkwood, whose lead was 9 seconds. Now it all goes away with a full course caution in USF 2000. So multiple incidents. First, a battle for second with Caroline and Zach Holden, the young man from Greenfield, Indiana, just about 45 minutes away from here, looking for his best result. He had damage, and then further up, more problems, and we could see that brewing.
You could, because Jamie Caroline, who was running in second position, just didn't have the pace. He was on the defense already. That stacked up everybody behind him. And these young USF 2000 drivers with dreams of being on the podium here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway start thinking about that. I thought it was a great move for Zach Holden. Coming through 13, he was on the outside. He had the spot, but Caroline just pushed a bit wide coming out of the corner. Contact put him off the racetrack. He was able to come back on, but I believe in about 8th position, or maybe 6th or 7th. But his race ended at the end of the straightaway with more contact. But it looked good. They were all coming through turn 1 and 2 cleanly, but in the end, finally contact over in turn number 4 put Kalen Frederick off track. That moves, look at this, look at the shakeup in the order. Kyle Kirkwood leading, his gap now gone. But Rasmus Lint, who is second and drops to 8th, is now back to second. Darren Keene magically up into third. James Rowe Jr. in fourth. Corey Enders in fifth. Colin Kaminsky in sixth. Mateus Soler-Obel able to hold on for seventh. Kyle Dupel eighth. Alex Barron back to 9th position.
Who, by the way, has been the fastest car on track.
Exactly. And now we'll get a restart with a lot of time to go. We still got 22 minutes and 9 laps. There's a lot of time still for Alex Barron to potentially get himself back onto the podium and potentially go for the race win once again. The day of Kalen Frederick not ending the way he wanted. That's probably, that might be Jamie Caroline. Indeed it is. Look at the damage to the left front of the car, Jamie Caroline. He'll climb out of the BN Racing USF 17, and a day gone awry for the young Brit who was looking at a podium finish here at Indianapolis. Tough finish for Jamie Caroline, and Kevin, you can see it in his face.
And we'll wait to see if Zach Holden is also out of this race.
He remains in the runoff over in, I believe, between turn 1 and 3.
We saw Kalen Frederick there. The car, as they continue to circle under the full course caution.
They've actually refired Frederick, and he's continuing. I'm surprised going off like that there wasn't any kind of damage on Kalen Frederick's number 24. He's lost a lap as it is, and you can be sure his team will bring him in to do a nut and bolt check and have a look over on it. We will go back to green next time by with Kyle Kirkwood leading Rasmus Lint, Darren Keene, James Rowe, and Corey Enders.
And it looks like Zach Holden's car out of the way on the runoff is just going to be stranded out there. So unfortunately, that's going to be the end of his day after contact battling for second position. So now what does everyone have for Kyle Kirkwood? It's hitting the reset button for the rest of the field. Kirkwood was leading by over 9 seconds. That gap is now gone.
Think about the different mindset change, Kevin, for Rasmus Lint, Darren Keene, James Rowe. They were thinking about a top 10 finish. Now in their mind, it's podium. It's, can I win this race? Can I capitalize on the restart and potentially take the lead here with 8 laps to go? They've got to reset everything they were thinking, and Kyle Kirkwood has to reset as well. The jump when they come onto the front straightaway will be crucial. Rasmus Lint, though, has shown his racecraft. Here's a kid that ran at the very top levels of international karting, 5th at the World Championships last year in the CIK FIA World Championship event. This kid knows how to race, knows how to get his elbows up, and it will be interesting to see that if he is able to take a run here at Kirkwood. Single file restart. It'll be 7 to go at the line. Still 18 minutes left, so lots of time still in the window. Keep an eye on that number 19 of Alex Barron for Swan RJB Motorsports. A gift, the yellow flag for the French driver as he now sits 9th with an opportunity to work his way back forward.
Look at this train of cars, still 22, 23, 24 strong. Single file at high speed coming down the main straightaway through 13 and 14. They're gathered up to restart.
Out of turn 14, green flag displayed here at start finish. Decent jump for Kyle Kirkwood, 4-5 car lengths at the line.
James Rowe in 4th might have had the best run. Can he try Keene for 3rd? Coming into turn number 1, they are side by side for 3rd.
I believe Keene may have held that spot, still holding to the inside of the racetrack. James Rowe, the young Irishman, went to the outside. Alex Barron going to get aggressive here in the opening couple of corners. Even 1 or 2 spots here in the opening lap will be good for him as he settles in and tries to get back to the podium. But James Rowe Jr., his debut weekend here in USF 2000, currently P4.
And mission accomplished for Kyle Kirkwood. His toughest challenge was going to be on the restart.
Indeed, got a very good jump, and in fact, the battle behind him, Rasmus Lint, Darren Keene, and James Rowe again changed the focus on defense rather than offense. I'm going to say probably 5-6 car lengths as they come out of the infield back over to turn number 11 and 12. That's one of the Bennick drivers, Sabre Cook, I believe, around. Yep, that's Sabra, a young lady out of Grand Junction, Colorado for Team Bennick. Spin here on lap number 13. She's able to right herself and continue. Good lead for Kyle Kirkwood, trying to get win number 2.
Let's see if Alex Barron picked up any more positions. Restarting in the 9th position, 2 more, up to 7th.
Able to get by both Mateus Soler-Obel and Kyle Dupel. Igor Fraga back into the top 10. Remember, he started dead last, had to start at the tail of the field after an issue getting rolling. Fraga back to 10th, so an impressive run for that young driver as well. Igor Fraga, born in Japan, lives in Brazil. Tremendous young driver, also running in the F4 NACAM series in Mexico. Kirkwood leads him down. We got a battle further back. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. They're in the middle of a fight. I think that's actually Alex Barron going to work on his teammate James Rowe, Kevin. Indeed it is. They're lined up. Able to get by Corey Enders, I think. Tremendous run for both of the Swan RJB drivers.
Barron may be getting a position. If there is one more quick yellow, he might be able to make a run for the podium, if not more.
He was quicker than Rasmus Lindh, quicker than everybody but Kyle Kirkwood on that last lap. He's 2.7 seconds behind the leader, Kyle Kirkwood, but only 2 seconds behind second place Rasmus Lindh. He's into 4th position.
Wow.
What a run today for Alex Barron. Again, a very highly rated driver in the paddock. Brian Bellardi very high on him. He put him behind the wheel of his Indy Lights car a couple of years ago. Helped get him back behind the wheel of a USF 2000 with Arms Up Motorsports last year. Alex Barron back into 4th position, 2.8 back of the lead, and essentially the same lap times as the leaders. Darren Keene trying to get back to the podium in the Newman Walks Racing number 36. The driver to Boca Raton, Florida, scoring a podium finish at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, but he's got a charging Alex Barron behind him. Through turn number 7, Keene able to keep him at bay.
He's right there, though. Kirkwood, meanwhile, has a comfortable advantage, but he's not been able to pull away. Lindh has been able to stay with him. So this is not totally safe for Kirkwood at this point. Just about a 3 car length advantage or so. Maybe 3 to 5 car lengths. Closer battle, though, is for the final podium spot in 3rd. And at the line here, it'll be 4 to go. Kyle Kirkwood past the stripe, and we've got a car stalled, one of the Pelfrey cars. In turn 12.
Now, is that off on the entry in there? He may be out of the way. They may not have to go full course yellow. If they do, this race is going to go wide open. That's the number 81 machine at Kyle Dupel. He was running in the 8th position. Wonder if he just got in too deep there and spun the car around, or whether there was contact or not. But Kyle Dupel off in turn number 12, Kevin.
So far, no signal, so we stay.
There's contact there as well, further back. Sorry, guys, contact off at turn number 4. That's one of the Newman Walks cars. I want to say that might have been David Osborne. Contact from Michael D'Orlando.
There's the second car spun around. D'Orlando is stuck in the gravel trap.
That's actually the Newman Walks car. Let's get the number on that. So 37 at David Osborne. Contact coming through. That was just a late move. D'Orlando tried to stick his nose into the inside coming into turn number 4, and around he went.
And it is a full course caution with still 12.5 minutes to go.
Disappointing for David Osborne, was running in the 16th position. There's Dupel. A little bit of white coming out of the left side tire. I wonder if Dupel actually potentially got into the wall a bit, one of the safer barriers. Just lightly scuffed it. There's David Osborne shaking his head. Dupel trying to get his car refired. Kyle Dupel gets rolling again. He is 2 laps down.
You can see some damage on that right rear.
I'm not seeing any damage on the inside tire, the right rear tire, Kevin, for Osborne. He may be able to continue as well if they get him pulled back out here. But as you had mentioned, 3 laps to go, 11 minutes. We're under the yellow right now. Will this continue under the yellow, or will they be able to get them back on track for a 1-lap dash? Alex Barrett has gone to 3rd. What will happen if we get 1 lap? Will he have the guts, the motivation, if you will, to make that move to try to go for the lead, or does he hold on with a podium? Does he think, hey, you know what, I can get 2nd?
I think it all depends on what kind of jump Kyle Kirkwood gets. If he gets a jump like he did last time, it will be safe. But if the opportunity is there, all of these young drivers are going to try to pounce, and they'll have at least a couple of chances in a turn 1 and then one more at turn number 7.
Kyle Dupel into pit lane. Over his shoulder, your fellow broadcaster from NBC Sports, Anders Krohn.
What's he doing there?
Doing a little engineering, I think, this weekend. He's multi-talented. Anders, of course, has done a lot of work working with the IndyCar radio network this year, as well as our driver analyst. He's been a driver here at the Speedway. Helped run the Team Pelfrey team for a time, and coming in to lend his hand doing some engineering as well. Tough one for Kyle Dupel. Had a top 10 finish in the horizon. Was running 8th, comfortably in 8th. But a loop, some kind of a spin over in turn 13, potentially some contact with the wall. A lap down now into pit lane. 20 drivers remain on the lead lap. 2 drivers off who have gone off over in turn 4, Kalen Frederick and David Osborne, now 22nd and 21st respectively.
All right, we are going to get a 1-lap dash to the finish. 1 to go at the line. Here they come on the main straightaway with 2 laps remaining, and we will go green next time by.
What a way to start the wheel-to-wheel action of the IndyCar Grand Prix here, Kevin. We're going to have a battle, a last lap fight. Kyle Kirkwood versus Rasmus Lindh and Alex Barrett. If I'm Darren Keane in 4th position, I may just take a breather and say,
you all duke it out and I'll be right there ready to pounce.
Yeah, I'll pick up the garbage when you're done. Turn 1 is going to be exciting. If you're down there in the turn 1 mound, you've picked the spot here for USF 2000. Your top 10 sees Kyle Kirkwood lead in the number 8. Rasmus Lindh in 2nd. The Swedish driver for Pabst Racing in the 23 now in 2nd. Alex Barron, yesterday's winner in the Swan RJB number 19 in 3rd. Darren Keane, the familiar orange and white of Newman Walks Racing, in 4th. That's the 36. James Rowe running P5 in his debut here in the USF 2000 Championship, running for Swan RJB. He's 5th in the 20. Corey Enders in the number 11 in 6th spot. Colin Kaminsky in the 27 in 7th. Lucas Cole in the 22, 8th. Mateus Soler-Obel, the 14-year-old in 9th, or rather 15-year-old in 9th. And Igor Fraga, who started this race from the tail of the field, has worked his way back up into 10th. David Osborne in the 37, extricated from the gravel, and is at speed trying to close back up to the tail of the field. So as Kevin said, white flag has been shown. They'll get essentially what is the green and white. It'll be a 1-lap dash for the race win in USF 2000. Kyle Kirkwood trying to get back onto the top of the podium after winning in St. Petersburg the opening round. Last 2 races won by the French driver Alex Barron for Swan RJB Motorsports. This time Kirkwood in the driver's seat to go for the race win.
This is going to be good. Kirkwood, the runner-up yesterday. Barron, the winner yesterday, restarts in 3rd. Lindh is right between them. Keane and Rowe also ready to pounce. Watch and see when Kirkwood releases as they come through turn number 14. Back on the straightaway. White and green flag are out.
Heading down to turn number 1. We have a driver who spun over in turn 13. There's contact with turn 13. That's the 82 machine of Bruna Tomaselli. She's right in the middle of turn 13. We may go full course yellow again. That would end this race. She's got no rear wing, and that was coming to the start. Someone got into the back of Tomaselli.
Kirkwood, meanwhile, maintained the advantage through turn number 1, so the race could be somewhat decided. Kirkwood still in front as they go on Holman Boulevard. Lind, Barron, Keene all chasing.
I would expect they'll go all the way through turn number 7 before they throw the full course yellow.
This is likely the last chance right here into turn number 7. Kirkwood in front and maintains the advantage through 7. Watch for the yellow.
Bruna Tomaselli out of the car behind the wall.
The driver is in safety, and now the full course yellow comes out as the field heads towards turn number 11. Kyle Kirkwood is in front. Kyle Kirkwood is going to win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Drivers will woe it up coming out of turn 11, and we're going to get some contact. Yellow flag was flying. There's contact. One driver getting damage. That's Colin Kaminsky in the 27. The yellow flag was flying. The drivers didn't slow up enough. They essentially let them race all the way through 1 and through 7 to begin that lap. Yellow flag came out. Everyone getting on the binders coming out of turn number 11 to 12. But the bottom line is Kyle Kirkwood is going to win this one by 0.3 of a second at the line last time by. Kirkwood, Rindt, and Barron. Keene in 4th. We'll have to wait, Kevin, before they update the results and put the drivers in the right positions.
Well, Barron got in front for 2nd. Now, this is all unofficial at the moment. Kyle Kirkwood stayed in front. Alex Barron, under the yellow and checkered flag, comes in 2nd, working his way all the way from the back after the early contact. Lind, Keene, and Rowe round out the top 5.
They're going to have to look at video to be able to find out exactly what the order is coming out of turn number 7, because I believe out of 7 into turn number 8 is when the yellow flag, the full course, came out. So we won't get any official results in terms of the full field until they see the video.
And remember, they all got all stacked up there right ahead of 12 where the incident was too, so there may have been position changes there. So all we're seeing is how they cross the line here, finishing lap number 20 under the caution. We feel fairly confident, though, from watching the marching ants, that Kyle Kirkwood did stay in front.
Kirkwood, unofficially your winner of the Cape Motorsports number 8. Alex Barron and Rasmus Lind, we believe, will be on the podium. But again, we're going to get that call coming in from race control before we know exactly who finished behind Kirkwood on the podium. But a wild lap. That incident with Bruna Tomaselli actually happened coming to the green. They weren't even up to speed yet. Someone from behind her just got a little too over anxious coming into turn 13 as they were, or 12 as they were stacking it up with enough contact to knock the rear wing and make damage to, I believe, the left rear of Tomaselli's machine. She not able to take the restart, falling to the 22nd position. So a little bit of chaos marking this particular event here for
just a little bit
for USF 2000. It made it exciting, and what it really did, Kevin, is bring Alex Barron back into the picture. Had we gone green to checker, top 10, I think, would have been the best that he could have asked for.
After a great battle here yesterday in the first race of the weekend, Kyle Kirkwood comes away with the win. Alex Barron got it yesterday. You scored the victory here today. Talk to me about this second race of the weekend.
Well, we got a really good start. I mean, I think I pulled almost a 9-second lead in the beginning. And then, unfortunately, once again, those cautions came out, so it really made me nervous with those guys right behind me. I know Rasmus is looking to win, and so is Alex. So the cautions were a little bit hairy for me, but luckily I got enough of a gap out of 4 to pace them all the way around for the next laps.
Yeah, you certainly did do a great job in maintaining the pace of the field behind you. But Alex Barron was involved in that incident right off the start, had to fall all the way back, pitted to repair, and then charges his way back up to as close as he got. Did you know he was behind you?
I did know he was behind me at the end. I didn't know that he had to pit, though. That's incredible. But no, fortunately, I was able to keep him behind me towards the end of the race.
Quite a weekend here in Indianapolis, Kyle. Great start to the season. We'll see you at the next round.
Yes, you will.
Kirkwood, your winner here in Indianapolis.